Springtime is here, and if you are looking for a fun activity for your next team building, team meeting, icebreaker, family gathering, whatever the case may be, I've got you covered. Hey, it's Jeff with YourLearningCareer.com. Today I wanted to introduce you to a new game just in time for spring. This is JParty Springtime Edition. It is a Jeopardy-style game built in PowerPoint. So it's ready to go. It's got all the categories and questions ready for you. But because it's in PowerPoint, it's also fully customizable. So if you don't like a question or a category, you can make it your own. Today, I want to show you how it looks and plays. I will show you real quick how you can do some customization if you'd like. And then I'll show you where you can go to get it. All right, so here I am in PowerPoint. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into slideshow mode, and I'm going to say from beginning. And it's going to start up with some music. And when I'm ready, I'm just going to click on Start Game. And then the categories are in mystery. And by the way, you can see you can have up to 6 players or teams, and you will be able to do scoring for all 6 players if you do have 6. If you have less than that, that's totally fine. But anyway, when you're here, you have a choice. You can either skip to the main board without presenting the categories, or if you want to kind of have them come up one by one and you can do an announcer type thing, you can do that. So I'll go ahead and do that, present categories, and they are April showers, May flowers, then we have in like a lion, out like a lamb, spring celebrations, and spring gods and goddesses. So those are your categories. And if you'd hit skip to the main board, it would just go right here, and then you could see your categories across the board. So the way this works is basically you're just going to click on a category. So let's say we're going to do April showers for 200. Basically, I'm just going to click on that. It's going to take me to the question. Oh, haha, don't step in a poodle when it rains too hard. Some say it is raining blank and dogs. And if you want to, there's a little timer there. If you want to give people a little countdown, and they have to buzz in by then. And then people can answer the questions. Now, you as the host, you're going to have a host answer sheet that has these questions and answers on them, so you'll know if they're wrong. So let's say player 2 buzzes in, and they say birds. It's raining birds and dogs. Oh no, player 2, I'm so sorry, that's wrong. And to take away points, you're going to use the red minus. So it's going to take away the 200 points there. And then if player 1 says cats, oh, hey, player 1, you're right. You're going to hit the green plus, and they get their 200. And then you can reveal the answer. What are cats? And, it's up to you how strict you want to be on if they have to say it in the form of a question. But anyway, once you do that, you're ready to go back to the main board, and then you're just going to continue playing. So let's say they go to April showers for 400. So there you go. You click that. And again, if they get it wrong, red minus. If they get it right, green plus. And that's how you score. Now, something else I want to show you is there is a double Jeopardy type question called a secret clue. So if I go, and in this case, I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. So if you get to this one, that is the secret clue, basically what that means is the person can wager how much they want this question to be worth. And I think it's like the rule is I think they can bet up to the amount that they have, or if they have under 500, I think 500 is the max. But they're basically betting their points. So before you reveal the question, you get their wager. So like right now, player 1 only has 200. How you do the rule is up to you. If you want to let them bet more than 200, you can. Let's say they bet 500. Okay. So then they're saying, okay, I feel confident about this. I bet 500. Then you click next to reveal the question. Then player 1 is able to try to answer that question. If they get it right, they'll get 500 points. If they get it wrong, they will lose 500 points. Now, since this is a 600-point question, if I do the plus or the minus, it's going to subtract or add 600. So that's where these triangles come in. So if you need to be more exact with a wager, that's where you can do this. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, or you can subtract. You can take away 500. And I can't do math, but I think it'd be that. So it's real easy to update the points. You can either use the triangles or you can use the plus or minus, but that's how that works. And then again, I'd reveal the answer and we would continue. So that's how you play. You just play it like you would regular, a Jeopardy game. And then once all of the categories are done, you will have your final Jeopardy round or final clue. We call it final clue in this game. So when I get to my final clue, I would first, as the host, you'll have the category on your host answer sheet. So actually, before I reveal the question, I would tell them the category. I'd say, okay, the category is spring weather. What are your wagers? And then your players are going to write down how much they bet. And you go to the final clue, and then you give them the question. This term refers to a period of unseasonably blah, 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 blah. And then you give them time to write their answer. If you want to play music, there's music there at the bottom. I can turn it off with the no symbol over the music. And then I get their answers. And depending on what they wagered and if they get it right or wrong, I use the triangles again to add or subtract points. And then I reveal the answer and I can go to the final scores, and you'll see that the scores show up across this to show who has the most points. Oh, look, with negative 200, number 2 wins. Yay. All right, so that is how you play the game. If you want to make customizations, well, all you got to do, it's PowerPoint. So all you're doing with any changes, you're just selecting text. You're just highlighting text, and then you can type over it. So if you wanted to change a category, you could. But then, you're going to have to go in and correct all the questions. So probably more likely what you would do is probably, maybe you're going to change individual questions. So maybe this first one, you say, I don't like that joke. I don't like that don't step in a poodle. So you can highlight it, delete it, or, you can type over. So you can maybe make this just like that. Maybe instead of blank, you make it a space like that. And then, if I want to reset the scores, because I'm going to maybe play this again later or with a different group, I'll click on Reset Scores. And then the other thing people want to know is, well, how do I get the gray to turn back to yellow? So to do that, all I'm going to do is close the game, and I'm going to reopen it. And you'll see when I reopen it, all of those hyperlinks are back to their original color. All right, so that is how you play the game. That's how you can customize the game. And then the final thing I want to show you is where to go and get it. And that's very easy. All you have to do is go into the description below. I will have links for you there to go to my store, and you can get the game there. Also, I want to let you know I do have a Family Feud Spring Edition, or it's Friendly Feud, but it's called Springtime Feud. If you like Family Feud style games, you should check out this video, which I'll link to here, and you can learn all about that. All right, so happy springtime, everyone. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks as always for watching, and we will see you next time.